Hey, hello everybody. Do you realize we are 1 week away from Reggae? I mean, 1 week away. Oh, I can't wait. I just look forward to it so much. It's just, once you get there, you get your camp all together, and you get out to the festival bowl, and you're sitting in a chair, and you're like, and it just feels so nice. And everybody's there around you with like the same kind of just, I came here to have a nice relaxing weekend vibe, and everybody just is there to have a good time, and it's just, I can't quite describe that. I can't even put it all together because I'm not there right now, and it's something you can't really experience unless you're actually there. So let's talk about it. This is gonna be a long video, everybody, so I'm gonna try to get into the good stuff immediately. July 26th through 28th, Northwest World Reggae Festival. It's gonna be up in Marcola, Oregon. I'm coming up from the Bay Area of California, so that's almost gonna be about an 8-hour drive. So it's worth doing. I was there in 2010 and 2011, just before my first child was born, and this is gonna be my first time back, and I just can't wait. So we're gonna get into a lot of interesting things about how life kind of meshes together to make things happen. So before we get into that, in case everybody's gonna tune out in about 2 seconds, I want to say a special thanks to a guy named Vid by Bill. He has a great YouTube channel, VIDBYBILL, Vid by Bill. On there, that guy recorded the midnight set, so let's go open that up. If you go to Northwest World Reggae Festival and you click on the site info tab, there's something called Midnight 2011 Full Set, and if you click on that, you're going to see that show I was talking about. 3 hours and 17 minutes. Can you imagine? I mean, I've taken some music lessons over the years, and can you just imagine playing for 3 hours, like, your hands? Like playing guitar for 3 hours. And anyway, what do I gotta say? It tells you the band came out there to play. You go out there, some bands would get, we'll come out here, we're gonna collect some money, we're gonna play for 1 hour. We said we'll play for 1 hour, we're gonna come and play out for 1 hour and get our money. That's not what Midnight did, and that's not what all the reggae bands do. You gotta like pull them off stage, they just wanna keep playing. So, 3 hours and 17 minutes. So they went on at 11:30. Can you imagine? Oh my god. Anyway, go check that out, Vid by Bill. And then Vid by Bill, you just need to go check out that guy's channel. He's got all kinds of great music, live music events, and I don't know if that guy's a sound engineer or something, because like he has some really interesting angles in some of those concerts. You're like, dude, did you like put the concert together? You like got some great seating right there. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's roll into it. There's a company that is sponsoring the festival called Drop In Films. Their YouTube channel name is Drop In Production Film, and they did a beautiful drone shot. It's also on the site info tab on Northwest World Reggae Festival website, and they did a beautiful shot. It looks like, if I was going to relate it to the site map, it looks like you're somewhere right out in the beginning of the parking lot, cruising right into the festival grounds, take a turn, and then up and over to kind of give you an idea what it's going to look like. So they did a beautiful job putting that together. So go check that out. It's definitely worth seeing. Let's go to it. Lineup. It looks like we have a new band on Friday night called Sponge, SPUNJ. So that's going to be a lot of fun to go check them out. So the two new bands that have been recently added were Ross Indio and Sponge. So the rest of the band's a lot of fun. It's getting pretty close, and I'm sorry if I haven't had a chance to do anything specific for your band that is performing, but rest assured I've been watching all of your stuff on YouTube. Just time is getting short. So let's see. I think what I'd like to really talk about is like the incredible things that come together in your life. Like, just the whole story of me even coming out to this festival is incredible, because I live in the Bay Area, and I'm naturally, people are lazy, and I would have been going to Sierra Nevada Music Festival. I would have been going to Reggae on the River. Those didn't happen this year. It looks like Mateel Community Center is going to put together some sort of a program on the Reggae on the River weekend, so definitely go support the Mateel. But Northwest World Reggae Festival is having a full-fledged festival. That's beautiful, so go out and support it. I mean, you kind of really don't appreciate how lucky we are to have these music festivals until they don't happen. Just the fact that I'm even going there, like, I wasn't going to go because we had friends coming all the way from Europe who used to live here, and you're like, man, people are coming from Europe, I can't take off for a reggae weekend. So I was going to skip, and I started thinking, I'm like, you know what? 2010, 2011, I went to Northwest World Reggae Festival, and I had a blast. So it's a bit of a drive, but you know what? If that's what's going on, it's on a weekend that I'm free, and there we go. And then I started looking, and I was doing internet research, and that just prompted me to start doing a lot of great videos. I'll tell you, like, things in life. Like, I had kind of like stopped doing my YouTube channel a little bit, and just got really excited about reggae, and I was like, you know what? Let's do some stuff for this festival. I already knew Sierra Nevada wasn't happening, and I was like, you know what? Let's support some festivals, man. These things are awesome, and we really need to let people know so the young people get out there. And if you just go out there one time, you're gonna be like, wow, this is a good time, and then you're more likely to go out to every other one. You're gonna tell all your friends about it, and you're gonna get a big group of people together that can go every year. So anyway, let's keep talking about it. So I'm going out to the festival. That caused me to start working on my YouTube channel again. So I started my YouTube channel, and then that causes me to look at the lineup, and then I'm like, you know what, we should do some stuff for the artists, and I start listening to all the music. And then anybody who's a motivational speaker will tell you that the best thing you can do to free up your mind for doing positive things and creativity is to be in a good mood, to be relaxed. To be in a good mood and be relaxed are the two things that will build creative ideas. So I'm listening to all this reggae music. What is normally, you know, I'm sitting waiting around for different lessons for my kids to happen, and you know, that became a lot more enjoyable because I'm checking out reggae music. And what else can I say? So I get into this very relaxed state, and if you'll notice, July 2nd I put out a video which I listed a whole bunch of different artists, because I had finally kind of put a culmination of me 2 months of me checking out all the artists on YouTube, listening to all the different music, and be like, okay, let's pick out 2 or 3 songs that really kind of hit you for each artist. So I do that video on the 2nd, and I'm in a super relaxed state. So what did I do? I have a trademark for my original company, and I finished my trademark brand registry on Amazon. And that unlocked a whole bunch of advertising I could do. And I started thinking, right, I'm in this creative, kind of relaxed state. I gotta thank this all to Northwest World Reggae Festival in like a really roundabout way, right? Because me going to the festival put me in a state, started me on the YouTube channel. It's like this weird circle, right? Life is amazing. So we're going around. A couple things happen. I get off my rear end and do some really cool things for my brand. Then I start thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? Every good brand has some sort of a saying. And so I'm in like a super happy, relaxed state, and I come up with a saying. Good, bad, whatever. It's Dan's Daughter's Containers, wick it up with us. And I'm like, that's cool. I like it. It flows, tells you what we do. Wick it up with us. It's kind of like laugh it up with us. Think about having good times and parties. So I'm like, it's good. It'll work. So I go to get that trademark brand registry, right? And then part of doing a logo, really long video, guys, you're going to have to bear with me. I'm talking about the circle of creativity and good things creating and feeding upon themselves. So that I do my registry, and in a weekend I get another trademark application in. And part of doing a trademark for a saying is you have to be part of an advertising campaign. So I put it as part of my special brand advertising campaign that I can do. And I start thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? Instead of just going as a VIP at Northwest World Reggae Festival, I really need to go buy like a booth and do a whole launch of my logo, and then that becomes part of my proof of trademark. And like it become, you see how things feed on themselves in positivity. So I get a banner printed, and I'm like, I start things in motion before everything has come together. And you can't imagine the number of things that had to come together that I'm gonna actually be vending instead of just sitting in the crowd. So this is really exciting. I'm excited about this. I'll show you what I'll be selling. I'm just gonna bring up a couple little things because I come up in a really tiny little car. I've got these little glass wick holders. These will let you make like rock candles. You're gonna see you can turn any kind of a jar, a glass jar with a metal lid, into an oil candle with these little guys right here. You just drill yourself a 1/4-inch hole, and then this goes into the slot of the 1/4-inch slot. It's got a little ring that catches, and then you feed a wick through, and then it acts as like a little flame arrestor. So there you go. I have those, and then I'm also gonna be these right there. These are ceramic wine bottle plugs, which will let you do wine bottle candles. So those right there. They have this cool little groove right there, which does two purposes. It lets a little air into the bottle so you don't have the flame snuff out due to vacuum. And if you get that stuck in there and it's really wedged in there, you see it's got a taper, you can fit a little tool in there, a little kind of help wedge it back out. So we'll be selling those, but even if I don't sell a thing, the most important thing was kind of launching a big advertising campaign for my slogan. So I get to do that. I get to support the festival. It's really cool. I get to be in the festival grounds. So let me tell you what came together. Doug is a really cool guy, because I come at Doug and I say, hey, is there any chance I can, I know you already put out your initial sponsor list, but, not sponsor list, but vendor list, but is there any way I can become a vendor and pay the extra money and just upgrade to vending from VIP? He says, sure. We do a little back and forth. He's really cool. This is such short term, so Doug had to do a ton of work to make this happen. And then simultaneously, my vendor out of the blue calls me and says, hey, Dan, you know, we got this wick. And it's this 3/16 hollow wick, and it's really cool. It's really good. I think you need to get it. And we got a ton of it for you, and we're going to give you a great deal on it. So he sends me a little sample. I start doing some testing. And it's like it all just, like, comes together, you know? And so I was like, let's make it happen. And so many things, you know, my vendor sent me the stuff, and I said, let's go with it. And normally there's like quite a bit of lag time, and I told them I was going to be maybe vending at a festival, and they jumped on it, and they got me a whole bunch of these extra glass tubes in the mail. I'll be getting those tomorrow. And then I got that new wick coming, so it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be launching my new logo, able to say hello to everybody, and I just can't wait. So anyway, just a big announcement. I'm going to be able to vend this year. I went ahead and stepped up because it does two things for me. Actually, it does 3, 4, 5 things for me. One is I get to have a place inside of the bowl, which is awesome. I get to fulfill what I need to do for my trademark, which is have a big advertising campaign, and going to a big festival is a huge advertising campaign. So all of you just even being there are helping me get my second trademark together. Anyway, and it's just going to be awesome. So I'm really running very limited hours, which is going to be kind of strange for everybody, but I'll be open like Friday till like around, you know, just before dark probably, and then I'm just going to take Saturday off, and then I'll be open again on Sunday. So I mostly came up there to kind of support the festival with all the videos I did. I thought, you know, I can't quite afford to do a sponsorship of a real small company. But I was like, man, you know, if I've already paid $200, what's an extra $200 to go up to $400 to get a vendor? So I went ahead and paid the you know, would eventually be the $400 for a vendor. So man, any of you out there who have companies, go ahead and talk to Doug about getting in there. It's getting kind of short notice. You can try to shoot him an email. I don't know if he has time to get any more additional people in there for vending, but vending is a great deal. You know, if you have some friends and even one of you has a company, go do that. You imagine how nice it is to, like, you get a booth inside the festival grounds, and you get to support the festival. I can't tell you how important it is to support these festivals. You know, if people don't show up, they don't happen. And how cool is it going to be? Like, go check out that beautiful drop-in films, and just look at where we're going to be listening to music, and like think of the artists that are showing up for that weekend, and like how cool it is that we just get in to be this, you know, it's like a really nice space. You know, like how you experience things, you know, like are you in a good space when you're listening to music, or a bad space? And this is just a beautiful space. It's ringed by trees, and go check that drone shot out, because they did a great job of it. It's really steady, and it gives you a beautiful idea that's ringed by trees. And I'll tell you, when you're there, like, I'm all about like the moment, and you're there, and there's the music, and I remember being there in 2010, 2011, and like the sun was kind of just starting to set. People are playing on the stage, and it was just like, it felt like such a great moment. So life is very, very short. Grab life. Go do things. You know, I think one of the coolest, they call them the sages, the people who talk about things and think about things. And they talked about life as like a rope. And really you only have the moment that you're experiencing, this current moment, right? That's the only thing you can be sure of. And they say it's like a piece of rope, right? You're pulling your way through life, and the only thing you have is that little bit of rope that you're actually hanging on to, because you have all the rope that was your life and that's in the past, and it's kind of like curled up on the ground, and you have a notion of it, but you can't get it back, and you can't hold it again. And then there's the rope that you hope you have, but you never really know, right? You could get step out of your house, you get run over by a car, and there goes all your rope. So every day, every weekend, a weekend rolls around and you have an opportunity to do something like this, like grab your rope and do something with it, you know? I mean, I get to do something like this once a year. Very fortunate we get to do a nice family vacation, but my wife is very nice enough to let me get away for this weekend. And so, anyway, if you have an opportunity to do something like this, go do it. It's so good, it's so fun. It's a great lineup. It's a great location. I just can't say enough. I know this is a super long video, and I don't care, because just go buy a ticket. It's a really good time. I think if you can get yourself out there once, get a group of friends together, they have a great deal if you do a group buy. Let's go check that out right now. Where's a group buy? I think it's still at like $100 if you do group buys, and it started out at $80. Imagine going check out on a weekend. So if you can round up 6 people for a 3-day pass for $100 each for a whole weekend, that includes camping, man. You know, it costs like $25 a day to stay at the cheapest campsites, and they don't have any music. They have like neighbors you're not necessarily gonna like, but this is a whole group of people who have a common purpose, and you're gonna have a good time. They're there to have a good time, and everybody just is really nice. Anyway, we'll keep going on and on about this, but I can't believe the things that had to come together to get me there initially. The things that came together for me to step up to be vending. Like I say, I got a PayPal Bluetooth reader. I go to check out Bluetooth, a whole bunch of things I start thinking about. I'm like, maybe I'll vend, and I started putting a checklist together. I go check out PayPal, and if you download their app, they were running a special. You get a free card reader, so you can accept credit cards. And if you get a vending booth, you get Wi-Fi, because my AT&T service isn't going to work out there. So I just keep thinking about all the little pieces that had to be all over the place that had to come together to make that possible. So anyway, go check it out. They have a lot of nice stuff on that site info tab. Gives you a really great idea of what it looks like. And I'm telling you, look at that RV and car camp, and there's nothing, as long as you bring a canopy with you, because it's a little rough to be out in the full sun with a tent with no canopy. But that RV and car camping, man, pay that extra $10, camp next to your car. So nice. That's so nice. So anyway, and then plus that location looks fantastic. So definitely think about stepping up. They still have VIP passes left. They still, when you show up, check out if they have any car camping left, because that's a deal. And anyway, I would say if you're going to plan on being out in the big field, bring a canopy with you. I'm a weird guy, just doing logistics. Like, there's so many things about the festival that come together. It's like, I love a good road trip, as long as my back is handling it. And I actually have, my buddy had an idea. I have a little back stimulation device. It's got these little electrical pads, so I'm literally going to be rolling up for the 8-hour drive with those like on my back. And the second I start feeling any kind of pain, I'm going to be like, boom, electrocute myself. So I love logistics, right? Just the logistics of all the things that have to come together for a good camping trip. And then like you buy your ticket far in advance, and I'm the kind of person that like I can literally like move time and space, and I can be like there. So you start thinking about all the past times you had, and you're like looking at the lineup, and you could be anywhere listening to YouTube, and you're like, oh, I'm in reggae, I'm right there. And you can move time and space and be wherever you want to be. So anyway, there's nothing not to love about it. And then so it's got a great road trip. Hopefully you can round up some friends. Man, I try to get all my friends together who do the Bay Area, and we're like all getting older, and we have kids, and it's hard to get people together. So if you're in your 20s and 30s and you don't have any responsibility, and you're free for the weekend, you got a few bucks in your pocket, man, go do it. Because I'll tell you, you get into your 30s a little harder, you get into your 40s a little harder, you get into your 50s a little harder, because you gotta make effort. So go do it, especially when you're young. I remember I really wish I would have gone out to my first Reggae on the River a lot earlier. I had friends who were talking about it for probably like a good 5 years before I actually went. What a great time it was. So, and I'll tell you, I have friends who've been going to Reggae on the River since they were little kids. Like their mom was taking them as volunteers, and they were like working the parking as little kids. And they were telling me stories about the original Reggae on the Rivers, and how chill they were and how nice. And going to 2010, 2011, and like just the vibe there and the people, the no alcohol, the old Reggae on the Rivers, there was no alcohol sold in the bowls, so there's no alcohol sales. And I'll tell you, it just creates a different kind of festival, So speaking of which, I'm a real dork, and I'm going to be dropping a song for you guys. I've kind of been working on putting all the lyrics together, but we're going to put together a little big business song. So anyway, we're going to try to put that together before I get out to Reggae. So anyway, it's an awfully long video. I'm going to have a lot of editing to do here, but they have a lot of good stuff on the site. Info tab, go check it out. That I love, if you've never been to a site, it's really nice to have things that give you a sense of being there. And Doug has done a really great job of, if you've never been to this festival, or if it's been a long time and you're returning again, give you an idea of what it's like. So that first site info where everything's going to be located, got some pictures of everything running, and it's beautiful. And then I really like the picture with all the cars there, so you really get an idea of when it's all filled in, what everything's going to be like. And then that drone footage is really cool because it's nothing like actually like feel like you're seeing it with your eyes and you're walking into the festival. So anyway, go do it. Go buy some tickets, huh? And I hope everybody who's local has a lot of friends. You can bring up a group of people. It's always a lot of fun. We got 7 days. We got 7 days till Reggae. Are you ready? Oh man. I'm recording this. It took me like 3 times to record this because I didn't feel like I had the proper energy, and I still probably don't. But go do it. Get a ticket. Go have some good times. Get some friends together. If you're anywhere near, I'm driving up from the San Francisco Bay Area. That's like a 7-8 hour drive. So anyway, I will have some really cool examples of do-it-yourself candles, especially emergency candles. We have a lot of earthquakes in California. People have hurricanes, whatever. Everybody's got some sort of problem where it's not a bad idea to have some sort of in addition to a battery-operated flashlight, an oil candle is something that'll provide light for hours and hours and hours off a little bit of fuel. So if you've looked at any of my testing videos, it's almost like a miracle watching those things burn, because you can't even perceivably notice the fuel is going even after an hour or two. So these are very efficient. These little guys right here that run off. This is a 3/16 hollow core that I'll be doing, and that's a really amazing product. And I'm going to do a whole bunch of cool videos about that stuff. I keep thinking of funny, the vortex of fire. Anyway, we're going to do some fun things. So, anyway, Northwest World Reggae Festival. I want to get a last video out, at least one last video. We're a week away. Go get a ticket. I'll be really happy to see everybody up there. Be able to show you a couple examples. You can turn anything into a wine bottle candle. Oil candle. I'm going to bring like jelly jars, pickle jars, all kinds of weird stuff. Mason jar, wine bottle. Anyway, anything that's made out of glass, you can just about turn it into an oil candle if you're willing to do a little bit of work. Yeah, that's it. We are 1 week away. 1 week to Reggae. Reggae. Anyway, I love it. I'm a huge fan of, not that you have to go crazy. This is more of a family-friendly event. But it's a good time to go to a party, and meet a whole bunch of interesting people. I just think back, I'm gonna have to do a whole series about like the people of Reggae, all the interesting characters I've met over the years, and I go to these things by myself, and I'm amazed. Sometimes I'm like a magnet to attract these weird, interesting characters that have great stories. There was a guy shows up, and just real quick, he called himself the Rooster, and he was you couldn't imagine what a mix of caricatures this person was. He was from the South, so he had a very, very thick Southern drawl, but loved reggae music, and had a mohawk. So he was a little punk, a little bit country, and a whole lot of reggae. And then his girlfriend was like this complete hippie girl. I mean, she was like a throwback from the 60s. And it was a lot of fun to have these people next to me at camp. Like, they were just constantly things that were coming out of their mouths, and they're just constantly making me laugh. And like, it's really good to experience different people, different cultures. I think one of my favorite stories is I show up to a Sierra Nevada, and I get the most incredible spot you can imagine. It's like, I get there late, and it's like the best thing I could have done, because I couldn't have gotten any more toward the front. I don't even know where they would have put me if I would have arrived any later. But I had to go to work. I work a half day, and I get up there. It's a 2-hour drive, and they park me. And if you've ever been to Sierra, there's like 2 waves of camping in the back. If you're not in family camp, there's like a whole section in the very, very back, and there's a huge section in the front area, and they have like a little bridge area. And I'm like in the last bit. I can see the bridge. You can't be any closer. So that's like really cool, right? And then there's these people next to me, and they just take off, and I'm like, and like a Sierra, you don't even know. It's like you get 10 by 10, and that's it. And so like everybody gets there, and they feel like kind of possessive. It's really kind of funny, because they like, until everybody puts up their little 10 by 10, and everybody feels like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough space, I don't have enough space. And then you get your little canopy set up, and everybody feels a little more comfortable. They put some walls up, and they feel a little more private, and everybody starts getting happy. So these people next to me leave, and it's like the middle of the night, Friday night, right? And I'm like, all of a sudden I hear like a vehicle pull up, and I see a whole bunch of people, and I'm like, who are these people? What's going on? And I'll tell you, it must have been Haile Selassie's like great grandchild, right? Because this guy, it's like Haile Selassie was right there next to me in camp. And so who were these people? They were up delivering TVs for Costco. So they get up to Boonville, they realize there's a reggae festival. They're from Ethiopia. They're Costco TV delivery people from Ethiopia. They realize there's a festival, they get themselves a ticket, they call up their other buddies who are working dispatch for Costco, and then they come up, and they like throw a whole weekend reggae, what do I say? A whole weekend of reggae together with a whole group of friends, and they all make it up to Boonville, and the only way they heard about it is they're delivering TVs. And they're the nicest people. And I'll tell you, like, don't ever, like, judge a book by its cover. Because, like, it's the middle of the night, and I'm kind of, like, peeking through what I can out of my tent. There's a whole bunch of, like, strange-looking people with really long beards, and I'm like, who are these people? And then the morning comes around, and I get to say hello to them, and realize I got the nicest people in the world camp next to me. And I'm like, got the great-grandson of Haile Selassie camp next to me. So anyway, these are the kind of reggae moments you're gonna have, and like just tons and tons of them. I can keep going, and I'm gonna do like a whole like people of reggae, and like true reggae stories, and kind of like I keep thinking of like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and like they're not always like so crazy like that, but just all these different people that you meet and these experiences that you have, and like it's really cool. I mean, you really get to meet a lot of interesting people, and that's like no joke. And like, life is short. Go out and experience it. That's all I gotta say. The older I get, every year that goes by, I realize, you know, there's maybe one less year of me being able to go out and do these things. So go out and do it, because you only get so many years of summers. There's only so many reggaes, and if you don't go out and support the reggae festivals, there's not going to be any more reggae festivals. So go out and do it. So anyway, one more week till reggae. Anyway, I gotta be quiet. It's like 9 o'clock at night. And actually, it's 10 o'clock at night now. I've been doing this video for a while. Anyway, everybody, I'm gonna see you July 26th to 28th up in Oregon. I'm gonna have a vending tent. Come by, say hello. Be nice to see everybody. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I gotta say really thank you to Doug, and whoever like is in behind the scenes helping Doug did a fantastic, like, I literally, like, this all started July 4th, right? I did I decided I'm gonna have a trademark logo, like a selling phrase, you know, "Wick it up with us." I started doing research, and I realized that part of doing that is you have to have it as part of an advertising campaign, and I'm like, what better advertising campaign than a huge music festival? So anyway, And then Doug made it happen, man. Anyway, so thank you very much, Doug. Thank you, Vid by Bill. I want to say thank you to Drop In Films. That's a beautiful shot to give everybody an idea of what it looks like. Anyway, so yeah, Vid by Bill, and then who else? Ross Chapati. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, but he's got a great reggae channel. And what else we can say? Black Lung, Down Day. Down Day. I'm hoping you can make that happen. I have no idea. You know, I know it's like a couple people collaborated on the song, and I don't even know if you have enough people to come together to sing it, but if you could do Down Day, that's a good song. That is a really good song. So everybody go check out Down Day. Still got to be one of my favorites from all the different music that I listen to. Really catchy. So go check that out. That's Black Lung, Down Day. I believe it was with Archangel and Dan Blackamore. So all those are also great artists. So anyway, go check it out. Reggae. Anyway, I always get excited. I'm trying to bring the energy without actually being there yet. So anyway, I'll see everybody July 26 or 28. Alright, go support the festival, huh? Everybody go buy a ticket. For whatever reason, High Times felt like they didn't want to run a festival this year. Mateel might be, it looks like they're putting something together nice at the center there, just to keep, they do a great job, like to keep the Name Alive festival they did when they had the problems. Sierra Nevada didn't happen this year. That's a great festival. So anyway, go support these festivals. I can't tell you how much fun it is, and they don't happen unless people go go be there, right? So it's gonna be really cool. There's gonna be an incredible lineup of people coming to perform in such like a nice space. It's gonna be like a really beautiful little spot to go check out music, and I can't tell you just how fortunate we are to have such like a nice lineup of people coming up to Oregon. And anyway, I can't thank everybody enough, all the people behind the scenes who made this happen to put it together. I can't imagine what, I love logistics, and it must just be like so much logistics to make that happen every year. Even if you've been doing it for 15 years, it's got to be an incredible amount of work to put it together. So everybody do your part. If you even remotely like reggae music, go check it out. Even if you don't, you're going to love it. I'm going to leave you with one last great reggae moment. So, that 2011 Midnight Show, right? That was incredible. But that kind of messed up the other days of the festival because they weren't allowed to run the, they had like a dome, like a little mini rave they would run at night until, whatever time in the middle of the night they would go till. So they weren't allowed to do that. So they finished the show and they're like, y'all gotta go. And everybody's standing there and they've just been listening to music. They're like, what do you mean you're not doing the dome? What do you mean we don't get to listen and dance a little bit longer? And everybody was kind of shuffling around and like, oh man, are you kidding me? And then there's a guy who sells drums. And that guy sells drums, and he's been at all the festivals. I always see that guy. And he's so cool. He sees everybody kind of milling around, and they're all bummed out. And he says, everybody come over here. Everybody come over here. Grab a drum. We're going to make our own music. And you know what they did? This like impromptu drum circle formed, and like, how nice is this guy? This guy's vending these very expensive drums, and he's like, come on over. I mean, something could have happened. He could have lost a drum, but he let everybody come over, and everybody got to play all these cool drums, and he was teaching people how to do it if you didn't know. And you talk about moments, right? He had taken something, everybody was kind of bummed out, they're milling around, and it turned into a beautiful drum circle. A huge drum circle, right? This guy has put out a huge spread. I sure hope he's going to be out there again. It's been since 2011, but I'm going to leave you with that. I got all these great reggae stories, and that is one of the most beautiful ones there. After this beautiful midnight show, but then Doug can't throw the little dome that they have after the show the next evenings because of the problem Midnight created by running a 3-hour show till like, it must have been 2:30 that night if it was a 3-hour 17-minute and they went off at 11:30. Man, anyway. And then the drum guy saves the day by bringing everybody together, and whoever wanted to still listen to some music and still be social in a big group, they were all allowed to go have fun. And so that was really, really cool. And it tells you like the kind of vibe there is. It's just like a come together kind of vibe. So it's all come together out at Northwest World Reggae Festival, right? That's what I'm going to leave you with. I think that's a good way to leave it. So I can't wait to see you there. Good night, everybody.